If you don't have any working strategy, you may just be fooling around, and no one will be telling you are fooling. That is the reason why a lot of traders, they don't exist. You ask you the last time I saw a trader, ask him, how far with your trading? He said, oh, I've stopped trading long time ago. I've stopped trading long time ago. You see, that is the reason why RoyalQ has been existing for the past 4 years and it still exists because of its trading strategies. Because of its what? Trading strategies. That is the secret. Look, a product may not just be existing. You do think people just wake up to use their bot to trade, to just activate RoyalQ because they can't trade? And in my circle of traders, in my circle, if I say my circle, I mean my traders, my colleagues. Most of them who activated in RoyalQ are people, gurus in trading, gurus in trading. People that has been using trading in forex, people that has been trading in crypto for many years. Because I have been teaching crypto since. So I just wake up to see people with no focus, frustrated beings, thinking of how to trade in the future in crypto exchange. I was like, has it gotten to this? When the devil hire you to give you the high expensive job, the high task, so that you can just do to exploit yourself. That is the secret. Right. So, my dear, action of trading the exchange is not a problem. You can just go in the exchange to set up a trade, and no one will prevent that person from not setting up a trade. Do you get it? Yeah. So it's real for you to understand. You see, when people are doing things out of bitterness, frustration, you should see that they are just wasting their time. It's just a waste of time to be so frustrated and then do things out of bitterness. Bitterness kills, and it gives you even depression at the end, because you may fighting for what you cannot stand for, what you cannot fight against. RoyalQ as a big institution that has been existing since 2017. Oh my dear, how will you do that? It can't be possible. How can you fight with an institution? Eh? How can you fight with an institution? How can you do that? You can't do that. That is a reality. All right. So after the golden cross, you expect a bullish of candle. Market starts going up. Why is it sometimes it goes down by -2% and then moves up? After the golden cross, you expect a bullish. Market starts going up. Why is it sometimes it goes down by -2% and then moves up? All right. So now, okay. So let me take the next one. I'll answer your question. I was in that zone yesterday. Okay. So now, in the case of golden cross, we have the MACD golden cross, and then also, so I don't know which of the golden cross you are talking about here. Either you are talking about both indicators on golden cross, or which of them, so that we can be able to get out the spade and then give you the clarity of what you are asking of, right? So, and what you also need to understand is it may not be 100%. Maybe it may be a partial observation. So that is one thing that you need to understand, because mostly after a golden cross, what you need to expect is what is a bullish trend, right? What you need to expect is what a bullish trend. So in the case of maybe observing the market going down, it may be maybe on different factors. Though a person have not observed that yet to see, but then based on your action, so if you can clarify it so that we can know how to present the answers to you. All right. So please, if you have any question, you can raise your hand. If you have any question, you can raise your hand or write your answer in the chat box so that we can give you clarification, right? Okay, so I was in that Zoom yesterday and I was busy laughing at them. I realized that they are all selfish and greed. I find it difficult to enter a trade with exact amount. Okay, so fine. Yeah, it's part of life. So we should you shouldn't be worried about that. part of life. Yeah. So please, if you have any question, you can ask. If you have any question, you can ask before we proceed. If you have any question, you can ask. So I find it difficult to enter a trade with exact amount. With exact amount. So your question, please, with the exact amount, is it in your RoyalQ, or when it comes to entering a trade with exact amount, please can you clarify that question so that I find it difficult to enter a trade with exact amount. So I don't
Okay,
know the
okay,
amount
can I talk? Sorry, good morning.
All right, good morning.
Yeah, okay. The way I find difficult in RoyalQ, I tried to enter features yesterday. Now, when I did my first buy, I actually wanted to use $100 to test run how the features work on RoyalQ. So I noticed that the $100 I have there, I wanted to do first buying amount of $50, while the other ones will split because of the setting and all of that in case of pullback. But I noticed that when I entered the $50 and when this thing peaked, what I was seeing was $5. Even when I checked it on Binance, I was seeing $5. I was now surprised. Why is it now
Okay.
$5? I don't know. So it's a kind of confusing. I think what I did was I eventually did a manual top up by buying at the current price to top up um the $50 I needed, which took it to 60 something thereabouts. But that's not a problem. But if there is a
Okay.
way we can actually get the
So
first
all right.
buy of that exact amount, I think that would be okay.
All right. So I guess it's about your problem has to do with trade settings. So you still have to let me explain this to you. So when it comes to entering your first buying amount, so please let me share my screen. I'm sharing my screen. I'm sharing my screen. Sharing my screen. So when it comes to entering your first buying amount, it is simple. Now, mostly the mistakes most of us will do is that if we think of entering $50, we neglect the leverage, and then we go straight to see $50 in the exchange in RoyalQ. So I've consistently explained in most or in almost all the sessions that we've been handling that if you do that, you go in your exchange and you see less amount of money expected, which is not supposed to be so. So over here, if you want to trade on um a first buying amount based on a particular capital, this is what you have to do. So can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
We are seeing the whiteboard. We are seeing just the whiteboard only.
Okay, let me stop sharing and then we share again. Okay. All right. So I believe my screen is visible now. Okay. Hope you can see now. Can you see? So over here, you see when you come to RoyalQ, now you click on futures. So clicking on futures, let's assume you are trading on this particular asset. Click on it, create, understand trade settings. Now when you get here, this is where you have to enter your first buying amount. Okay, this is where you have to enter your first buying amount. Now assuming my dear says you want to enter $50. Now if you want to enter $50, the first question that you have to ask yourself is, what is your leverage? Do you get it? What is your leverage? Now assuming maybe you are using 10x or 5x. So if you want to use $50 to trade, your actual money that you want to use to trade, you want to use to enter into the market is $50, which simply means you have to first come here to multiply that your $50 by your by your leverage. So let's assume 50 times 10, which is going to give me 500. It simply means when I come here, my amount to be entered there, that is first buy amount, is going to be 500. Whereas in my exchange, it's going to be $50. 50 what? $50. It simply means I'm using $50 as my first buying what amount. So if you say $50 over here, based on your leverage, if your leverage is 5, it's going to be 50 times 5. That is going to be how much? 50 times 5 is going to be how much? 250, right? 250. In the same case, if it is 10x, it simply means you are using 10 times what? 50. That is 50 is your first buying amount, which is going to give you 500. So over here, when you come here, 500 is going to be what you are going to enter here. You are not going to enter 50. If you enter 50 in your exchange, you are going to see 5. That is 10 divided by what? 50. That is going to give you 5.
Okay, now I get it. Okay, if I'm to using 10x leverage, I will do 10 times 50, right? Then whatever figure it gives me is what I enter here.
Yes, that is it.
Okay, that's quite understood now.
Very good. So since you want to enter that amount here, you want to enter 500. So 500 simply means you are using $50. So you come here, you do this calculation, you check here, over here they are giving you this 500,000 sats is equivalent to 18.85 USDT. So in a simply way, what you can do, you come here, you take your calculator in a very smooth and simple manner. 500,000 divided by 18.85 is going to give you how much? 26,525. So I multiply that times my leverage amount, which is 500, which is what? 500 USDT. So if I have 500 here, that is going to give me 13,200 and 13,266,000. So I'll come here and enter that amount here. So let's enter it to see 13,262,000, 599, 590 what? 99, 599. Very good. So you can see that is what is giving you the approximation of, or that is what is giving you
Sorry,
499.
why did you use 500,000 for the division?
Why did I use 500?
1,000, yes,
Now,
to divide.
I didn't use 500,000. 500. This is it. Look at it. This is the 5,000. Okay. So the actual money given in your 1,000 sat, that is the 1,000 sat equivalent, was 500,000. Okay, good. And 500,000. This was what was given in the in RoyalQ. That is the minimum amount here. Is 500,000. It simply means 500,000 sat is equivalent to 18.85 USDT. All this huge amount, that is this 500,000 is equivalent to 18.85 USDT. So if I want to enter this 500 here, this 500, I want to enter 500 here, right? Are you with me? I want to enter
Yes,
500
correct.
here. So since I
Okay.
want to enter 500 here, I will just divide this 500,000 by this 18. Then the amount I'll get, I'll multiply it by 500. That will give me the amount of 1,000 sats that I can enter. I know that I have 500 USDT, but I don't know the amount of 500 USDT that can give me the amount of 1,000 sats. Do you get it? So, in a simpler form, what I have to do is that I have to come here. This 500,000, this is my 500,000, okay? This 500,000 divided by 18.85. And then I multiply that by what? By my 500. That is what is giving me this amount. That is 13,262,599.46.
Okay, now I get it.
Very good. So after understanding this, I guess you'll be good to go. Oh,
Yes, I'm good to
what's
go now. Yeah. Thank you very much.
you're welcome. What is happening? Mm. Please, Ambassador Saul, check out and then um share my listing for me so that I can proceed. Yes, I don't know. Are you with me, Ambassador Saul? Okay. I'm trying to get my dashboard so that we can proceed, but then seems
Yes, my leader.
yes. So check it out for me. Check the meeting and then either you unshare or you hold me as a host. You remove me as a host, then I join again. All right. Okay. Thank you. So let me reshare my screen, then let's proceed. Okay. Hope my screen is visible. Okay. So let me see the next question. Now, okay. So let me see. What capital do you think is the best to start with? With what trading? If you ask me the best capital, I will tell you $5,000. So capital to start, I'll tell you $5,000. Yeah. Please, I want to trade on futures, but it's not buying it. It's not buying it. What is not buying it? Is it like you have issue with your API binding or what? What is not buying it? And what capital do you think is the best to start? I've always been saying that, you see, when it comes to trading, when a beginner asks me the best capital, I'll always tell you the best capital is what you can afford. Because what will be my best capital may not be your best capital. I'm a guy of good show. And talking about money, if maybe you 500 to someone $500 may be a problem. To others, $500 too may not be a problem. Do you get it? To others, $500 may be may be a problem. To others, $500 may not be a problem. So if I tell you use $500 to start, it may be a challenge to you. Maybe you don't have that $500. That is it. So please, it is about the amount, and we all know in the futures market at least minimum of $50 is good to go. But if you ask of the best capital, hey, that one is wahala. Oh. The best capital, hey, my best capital may be $5,000, but that $5,000 you may not have it. Maybe my best capital may be $500, and you all what you've got is $50. Do you get it? So it's not an absolute something, it's average or relative. It's relative. What may be my best may not be your best. I guess I've been able to explain that point to you clear so that you know how to position yourself. At least $50 to start futures trading is not a big deal. So how do you move from a long to short trade when it is taking too long? When it is taking too long, hey, so how do you move from from is it long to short when the trade is what is taking too long? Now, when a trade is taking too long and you want to move, you can't just move. Listen, you can't just move. These are some of the reasons why always RoyalQ will be the best. You can't just move a trade, but you can do what? Hedge the trade. You can hedge the what? The trade. So if the trade is keeping long in the market, if you want to move the trade, it simply means you are closing the trade. It simply means you are what? You are closing the trade. If not, you cannot move the trade, or you decide to hedge the trade. So if that long trade is taking too long, you can hedge it. And when we say hedging, it simply means the trader or the individual is thinking of how he can size opportunity and the opposite direction of the market. When we say the opposite direction, in a case where market is, let's assume you've longed the trade. Okay, you've longed trade, and then the market is going on different direction as in short. In this case, you can short the trade whilst you leave the long trade in the market. But if you think this long has kept too long, so you want to remove it, then it simply means you are already, or you are requesting for you to lose money. That is it. That is the futures trading. So whoever is teaching you of either talking about manual or whatever, that is the fact. You can't run away from it. Do you get it? So always, if you, and one thing also that you need to understand is in futures trading, just like any part of the market, patience is important. Patience is what is important. That is one thing that you also need to know. Patience is very, very important in trading. So always you also need to learn how to exercise patience in your trading journey so that you wouldn't be just be making haste decisions. Okay. Let me see. How do you move? Okay, so I guess so. Please hope your question has been answered. Then for futures, for trading futures on RoyalQ, we should keep only the first buy amount in the futures account. My question is, at what point should I transfer the funds for the margin calls into the futures account? All right. My question is, at what point should I transfer the funds from the margin calls into the futures account? And I don't think well, so far as trading the futures is concerned, it may depend. Either you are using cross or isolated. Either you are using cross or isolated. Just like I've been explaining in most of the sessions, I said if you are using cross margin, maybe you are trading on just one asset. That one will be good. With that, you can decide to leave all your funds there. With that, if or you set apart. So let's assume you are having $500. Listen, if- I'm trying to explain and then answer your question. So pay attention to this. Let's assume you have $1,000 and you've just used $50 and you want first buying amount. You want to use $200 to open margin calls. You can decide to leave this $200 in your futures account. Of course, you can decide to leave it there. So far as cross margin is concerned, you are trading on just one asset. If it is isolated margin, even if your amount is $10,000, you can decide to leave all the $10,000 there. What will happen to that $10,000? Do you get it? Nothing will happen. The only thing that happens in liquidation is the amount of money that is being trading. That is the only thing that happens, or that is the only loss that goes out of the market. Hope that is clear. So if we ask of at what point should I transfer the funds for the margin calls? Personally, I've never set up any capital unless otherwise I don't want to trade. If I don't want to trade in the futures, I push my funds out. But if I'm trading the futures, my money is there. So I don't know when that advice of maybe pushing your funds out of the futures wallet becomes that norm. Do you get it? Then it may be for security reason. That is, if you set up your trade on cross. If your trade is on cross, always make sure that the amount of money you've exposed to the market will only be the one that is there. With that, I can defend that you can set out aside if your capital is let's say $1,000 and you want to trade with $200, leave the $200 there and let the $800 be in your funding wallet. But if it is isolated margin, the $800 can still be in your futures account. Whilst you open your margin calls as usual. I don't know if I've been able to answer your question very clear. Do you get it? I don't know if I've been able to answer your question very clear. So if it's not clear, you can come again. All right. So manual why trading RoyalQ is better. Okay. So I think that is it. Then I have problem using the tools in TradingView to predict the trade. I have problem using the tools in TradingView to predict the trade. Now, I don't know the tools you are talking about, but we don't use the tools in TradingView to predict a trade. A prediction or analysis is based on traders' strategy or view of the market. So when you say someone is predicting the trade, maybe the trader is using a particular strategy, like maybe, or a trading concept like maybe indicator. These are what we use to predict the market. We don't use those tools. Those tools are materials, or I would say they are tools that helps you to be able to draw your lines and then also know when to make entries and then exit. Do you get it? So with your question, if I'll be able to answer it with clarity, I guess this is how I'll present it. So unless you come back again. So if I have problem with the tools in TradingView to predict the trade. So that's what I'm saying. If you really want to predict a trade, it's based on the strategy that you are using. Either maybe you are using an indicator, or you are using smart money concepts, or any strategy in any form of setups in the TradingView, right? So those tools in the TradingView are just there to guide you, for you to be able to do your setups. So like the lines there will help you to be able to draw your setups, your entry, your exit, and then everything in the market. All right. Where do I find the profits got from futures trading from RoyalQ? Where do I find the profits got from futures trading? So anytime you trade in futures, just like the sports, anytime you trade, your profits add up to your trade. Your profits add up to your capital in the futures market. So let's assume you have $200 that you are using to trade. If all these $200 is in the market and you make $5, your capital will be $205. So it's not going to be separate. Immediately the trade is sold, the profits add up to your capital. Immediately the trade is sold, the profits add up to your what? Your capital. Please hope it's clear. Immediately futures markets or in the futures trade. So which simply means if you have ongoing trade, and for instance those trades are in cross margin, it may be that your capital can even add up to the ongoing trade, since maybe you have insufficient funds to continue your transaction or your trade. So that is one thing that you need to take notice of. What is the safest leverage? What is the safest leverage? What is the safest leverage? So the safest leverage, if you talk about the safest leverage, I would say maybe 2x to 5x. 2x to 5x. And it may be safest or it may be safe based on your capital. Do you get it? When we talk of the safest leverage may be based on your what? On your capital. Because just imagine someone using, let's say, $2 with a leverage of 5x. This person is having high risk. It is called high risk. This person is having high risk. But someone using $100 with 5x leverage may have what we call low risk. So just imagine the same leverage, but someone may see it as high risk, other person too may see it as low risk. So the safest leverage may be based on your capital. That is the reason why in trade we have what we call risk to reward ratio. Risk to reward ratio. And risk to reward ratio is based on your capital. Do you get it? Risk to reward ratio is based on your capital. So at a point in time when you are using, let's say, $200, and you opt for what? For 20x or 10x, you may be exposing high risk. Whereas someone that is also using, let's say, $10 is also using 10x. This person may be having excess risk as compared to the person using $200. So the safest risk or the safest leverage may be based on your capital allocation. Do you get it? The safest leverage may be based on your capital allocation. I believe I've been able to explain it clear to you. Sometimes some of the questions are important to ask them, but then the answers, if care is not taken, if we give you straightforward answer, if I tell you 5x, and due to because I've said 5x here, you decide to use $2, $5 to go for 5x, you may end up seeing liquidation and saying that, but you said 5x will be the safest leverage. So the safest leverage will be based on your capital. the safest leverage will be based on your what? On your capital. Okay, so let me see if there is any hand up. Okay, let's proceed in the chat box. So one of my team member. Okay, so let me read from the top. Sorry, I want to take it one after the other. What do we find the futures profit? Okay, so I want to know how to calculate margin call if I'm to use certain capital, example $10. I want to know how to calculate margin calls if I'm to use $10. So now, in calculating of margin calls, what I've always been saying is, if you want to calculate for your margin calls, first think of the amount of money that you've exposed to the market first. Okay, if you've exposed $20 to the market, and let's assume your general capital, total capital is $100. You've exposed $20 to the market. It simply means you are going to use $80 to buy from the dip, and the dip in the futures may be either long or short. They are all dip. When the market is going against you, you are buying from the dip. So in the futures, the dip is not just the drop. It's also when you are on short, your dip may be the rise. That is the fact. So over here, if we are talking about margin calls, how to open margin calls, one thing that I've always been telling traders is that trading doesn't have a fixed formula. Trading doesn't have what? A fixed formula. That is the rule in trading. Trading doesn't have a fixed formula. That is the rule. So someone may come up to bring a strategy, it is working. All strategies that are working is a working strategy. So if I have $80 here, the next question that I have to ask myself is, how many times do I want to buy with this $80? If I want to open, let's say, 10 margin calls, then it simply means I'm going to buy 10 times out of this $80, and I'm going to work within the boundaries of the 10 margin call limits with my capital of what? $80. With my capital of what? $80. Are you following? Are you following? Are you following? So I'm trying to explain the question on the margin calls, right? So over here, if I decide, please off your video. We don't want to see you. So I guess, please, Ambassador, so check and then turn off that guy. We don't need his image now. Okay, so let's proceed. Whilst you do that, let's proceed. Whilst you do that, all right. Thank you, my dear. Rich, turn off your video. Turn off your video. All right, let's proceed. So over here, you are using $80 to buy from the dip, and out of that dip, you are going to buy what? 10 margin calls. So it simply means you are going to control 10 margin calls with $80. So the question is, how do I handle that? That is where the margin call limits comes in, or the margin calls comes in. So in this case, if I'm going to open 10 margin calls with my $80, the first thing that I have to do is to either come here, $80 divided by what? Divided by 10. So let's look at that using the calculator. $80 divided by 10. So that is 80. Please, the person who asked the question on the margin call limit or the margin call, so the reason I'm explaining this, divided by 10, that is going to give me 8. It simply means at each drop, I'll buy $8. Each drop, I'll buy what? $8. $8. So over here, if I want to know the amount of the number of times to buy with my margin call limit, I'm going to buy 10 times. Listen, so first call, second call, third call, up to the 10th call. Each drop, I'm going to buy $8. That is what it means. Each drop, I'll be buying $8. So when you go into your RoyalQ, so let's go into RoyalQ and then check it out to see. So over here, the next thing, if I come here to click on margin configuration, it simply means from the first to the last call, I'm going to buy how much? I'm going to buy $10. From the first, $8. Over here, I'm going to buy $8, $8, $8, $8, $8, $8, $8. So the 10th call. But the question is, how many times can I buy the $8? So you can see 0.5 here. So I have to take my time to do the calculation. And the easiest way to do that calculation, $8 divided by my first buying amount to give me the number of times that I can buy. To give me the number of times that I can do it. I can buy. So if it happens, my total capital was $100. I used $20 as my first buying amount. It simply means my first buying amount is $20. So over here, I'll just come here. 8 divided by 20. That is going to give me 0.4. So it simply means over here, when I come here, each drop, I'm going to buy 0.4 times. And multiply 0.4 times what? Times 8. And let's see. Sorry, 0.4 times 20. 20 is my first buying amount. So 0.4 times 20. That is going to give me how much? $8. 0.4 times 20 is giving me how much? $8. So from the first to the last, I'm going to buy $8. From the first to the last, I'm going to buy how much? $8. That is what you need to know. From the first to the last, I'm going to buy $8. So each drop, I'm going to buy $8 until everything gets done out of that. Until my $80 get finished out of the market. So if I come here, I'll just come here simply and then enter 0.4, 0.4, 0.4, consistently 0.4. So that I can be able to monitor to buy $8 at each drop. So that I can be able to monitor to buy $8 at each drop. So 0.4, 0.4, and then the last one 0.4. So with this 0.4, it simply means each drop I'm buying how much? At each drop I'm buying $8. Please hope that is clear. So that is how you can set up your margin call limits. That is how you can set up your margin calls. That is how you can set up your margin calls to proceed with your trade. That is how you can set up your margin calls to proceed with your trade. All right, so let's proceed. Let me see the next question. Okay, so how do I transfer profit from futures to spots to avoid losses? How do I transfer profits from futures to spots? Okay, let me start from the top. Okay, what can you say about trade reservoir when trading? What can you say about trade reservoir? Trade reservoir as in you reserving capital in your futures account or what? You reserving capital in your futures account or what? So please, can you clarify that? Please, do
No,
I need to have?
sorry, it's reversal, sorry.
All right, trade reversal. So mostly now manual trade reversal happens in manual trading. So if it happens you are doing manual trading, if you reverse the trade, it simply means the market is going against you and you want to reverse. Reversing the trade is not going to give you any profit. It's just going to end you up running losses. That is it. And mostly I've tried it several times. If you reverse the trade, you may end up, if the market is going against and you reverse the trade, you may end up running losses. Yeah. All right. So let me see. So I guess your question on trade reversal has been answered. So if you reverse it, that is a loss to you. Please, do I need to have another RoyalQ account for this future trading or is the same account? So it's the same account. It's the same. You don't need another RoyalQ account. All what you need to do is to do your API binding. If you've not bound your your futures API, just bound that. Okay, I guess it has been answered. Okay, I guess it has been answered. All right. So please, when is the best average to start hedging? When is the best average to start hedging? When is the best average to start hedging? All right. Now, when it comes to hedging, I'll always say that the best time to start hedging is when you've analyzed the markets to see the depth the trend can go against you. Do you get it? So there are two ways that you can do that. There are two ways you can do that. Now, the first one is analyzing the market to see the depth that trend can go against you. Because sometimes it may just be a little pullback. You may mistakenly exchange pullback to hedge a trade, and all of a sudden your actual trade will be sold, and you end up liquidating the other one, the hedge trade. So before you can hedge a trade, first analyze the signal, analyze the ongoing trade to see what is happening to the reversal of the market. Analyze the trade to see what is happening to the reversal of the market. If the market reverses and you think there is an opportunity that the trend has changed drastically, you choose to enter because there is an opportunity in the opposite direction. If not, you may just exchange a little pullback, and then you end up making profits on your actual trade and then losing on your hedge trade. So before you hedge a trade, always analyze the signal, analyze to see the depth of the market before you can hedge the trade. If not, if you are the type, maybe you are just, that one too may not be a good idea to just enter the trade. Once you enter, you open two positions at the same time. That one is called gambling, because you don't even know what is happening in the market. But as a trader, you need to know what is happening before you can make a decision. You just don't wake up to enter into a market or make a decision because you want to make a decision. You get it? You just don't enter into a market because you want to make a decision. I've seen a lot of people doing that, and sometimes it's just funny. You open two trade at the same time. You are just gambling with your trade. You don't know. You are gambling because you don't know what is happening to the trade, and not what you think of. Maybe you're hoping to so that one can win, and no, that's not how we trade. You are not being a good trader at all. So when it comes to hedging a trade, first analyze the signals to see the depth it can go before you'll be able to hedge it. I think that would be the best. Then how do I transfer profits from future to spot to avoid losses? As you always told us. So if you want to transfer profits from future to spot, just as you transferred the money from the spot or from your funding to futures, that is the same process. It's just the same thing. Nothing changed over there. So how you transfer the money from your from any of your accounts, either on the spot to futures or from funding to futures, is the same process. Nothing changes. All right. So, all right, thank you. Amazing explanation. Okay, so one of my team members made profits in banana that showed 17 USDT in currency profits in RoyalQ. When she went to convert the quantity of banana in Binance, the equivalent that Binance was giving was only 4 USDT. What can be the problem? The trade of banana was already closed and no more in the market. I guess this happens in sports. If I'm right, this may not happen in futures. So please clarify so that I can be able to know how to answer that. This may happen in sports and not on futures, because in futures there is nothing like conversion of assets. In futures there is nothing like conversion of assets. It is only in sports that you trade to own the assets. So in futures it's not like that. So now in the case one of my team members made profits in banana that showed 17 USDT in currency profits in RoyalQ. When she went to convert the quantity of banana in Binance, the equivalent that, yes, the answer is simple. Now the profit was made. But when the profit was made, instead of you getting everything in USDT, automatically it may turn towards to banana, which simply means by the time you went to convert, which simply means the time you went to convert the asset from banana to USDT, the price has dropped. Has dropped. There has been a change in price. And you know one thing about some of these things, you can just convert your USDT, your 1,000 USDT into maybe banana. And the next few seconds you want to convert back and you are getting 200 USDT, because banana is a meme coin, or it's not a stable coin. And since it's not a stable coin, the price is subjected to volatility and then market fluctuation. The price subjected to what? To volatility and the market fluctuation, which simply means that assets can drop in value within a short period of time. That asset can drop in value within a period of time. And if when it drops below threshold, you may end up even getting just $1. Please hope that is clear. The reason. So the profit was recorded, but because it wasn't recorded in USDT, the price of the particular asset or that particular asset reduced or dropped in value, which affected your profits that you were supposed to make. All right, please do SMC have a tool? Do SMC have a tool? So when you are using SMC, maybe fair value gap or any aspect of the market that you want to size opportunity, being it other blocks or whatever it may be, you will still use the drawing tools to draw your lines, make entries, and to observe or analyze your entries and then your exits in the market. So definitely you may use tools. When we talk of the tools, they are not anything rather than those lines that you have to use on your TradingView. Do you get it? That we call them the tools. It's not any other special thing. So what can you say about certain RSI when trading Royal futures? What can you say about certain RSI when trading Royal futures? So when you are trading on futures, setting up RoyalQ, what I can say about, I don't know what you want to know about, but what I can say is that mostly a lot of people, it seems yesterday or 3 days ago, most people got lodged complaints on their trade about using the indicator. Now, if you are using RSI or any of the indicators, what you need to know is that the trade is going to be triggered based on your condition. So if your condition has not been met, there is no way that your trade can be triggered. So we cannot be trading on BTC. Now, I will be making profits in BTC whilst your trade will still be hanging, because be hanging neither in profit or in loss. It hasn't even been triggered to buy, because you are using you've given what a condition to your trade, and if that condition is not met, there is no way your trade will be triggered to start trading in the market. So if you ask of what I can say about RSI, that is something small that I can say when you are using indicator like RSI in your RoyalQ futures. And not only in futures, both on spots and then what in futures it happens. So you may set up the trade, giving it a condition, and after giving it that condition, you may think of, why is my trade still not being sold? Why is my trade still not being sold? It's because the condition has not been triggered or met. Hope that is clear. All right. So let's proceed. Now, is it true that using isolation margin can be liquidated very fast? Now, it is not absolute, okay? We have what we call relative truth and absolute truth. When we say it is absolute, it simply means that is how it is and that is how it works. So that is not the case. That is not the case at all. But what I can say about the isolated liquidation and then cross margin is that in yesterday's presentation, if you do listen to me well, I said with cross margin, because it focuses on sustaining your capital in the market, it can focus on using your actual money or your remaining money in the market to sustain your trade. But when it comes to isolated margin does not operate with that function. That is the reason why, in terms of liquidation, isolated margin may liquidate fast because of this. Listen, isolated margin may liquidate fast because, one, it is not using all your capital to trade. It is only using what you've exposed to the market. You get it? Isolated margin is only using the capital you've exposed to the market. So in the case of using isolated margin, if you are using isolated margin, if you give the trade, let's say $20, when that $20 is exhausted in the market, it cannot go beyond the $20. So even if you have $80 remaining in your exchange, it wouldn't use it. But with cross margin will still use this $80 in addition to the $80 to continue your trade. Which simply means looking at cross margin and isolated margin. With cross margin, it is so determined to ensure that your trade is being sustained in the market. So if I still have $80 and my $20 is getting liquidation, I think this $80 will help me to keep long in the market or stay long in the market. But with the isolated margin, since the $20 is the only amount I'm exposing to the market, I will go straight ahead to be liquidated, because that is all what I do, what I've got. So that is the reason why maybe isolated margin may be liquidated very fast as compared to cross margin. Hope that is clear. Hope that is clear. Okay, so please, should someone be using an FB of $50, still adjust the amount column to $50, and someone who adjusted it to 250, as in futures, all using a leverage of 5x, then which of them makes more profit based on 1%? Hey, my goodness. The English is not Englishing at all. The English is not Englishing. Can you come again? Please, should someone be using FB of $50 and still adjust the amount column to $50? FB of $50 and still adjust the amount column to $50. And someone who adjusted it to 250, as in futures, all using leverage of 5x, then which of them makes more profits based on 1%? Okay, so if I get your question clear, if I can understand you clear, you mean someone is using $50 and then another person too is using 250, and they are all using 5x. They are all using 5x, where they take profit of 1%. Between these two people, who will make more profit? And definitely the person using 250. Definitely is the person using 250. Definitely is the person using 250. All right. Though we are all going for 1%, but 1% of 1,000 is higher than 1% of 100. You should understand. So 1% of 50 will be high, and then 1% of 250 will be higher than 1% of what? Of 50. Hope that is clear. Can I trade with 10 USDT in futures and use 2 margin calls using leverage of 5x? Yes, of course. Yes, of course, you can. You can do. Why do some coins like have failed to be traded using RoyalQ when using first buy amount of $20? When using first buy amount of $20. Now, listen, not even in RoyalQ alone. Not even in RoyalQ alone. In futures trading, you can't just be dropping your amount on any coin. Someone would say you can't bring your nonsense on me. That is what it means. So when you are trading on the futures market, you can't just climb every mountain just like that because you think you have money. So for instance, even in manual trading, BTC, you can't just go because you want to trade BTC, you go return less. No, it can't happen. Do you get it? So every single asset we trade minimum threshold, and let me explain that to you. Every single asset we trade on have a minimum what threshold. Now I've explained this to you on several occasions. Let me do that again. So over here, let's assume you go into your exchange. Let's assume you go into your exchange. So let's assume you go into your exchange. Now in your exchange, you will see that every asset, that is the reason on RoyalQ, you will see first buy amount, they'll give you their minimum amount of maybe 1,000 or $50 or $5. Now, this is the reason. This is the reason. So every asset we trade on has the minimum threshold where traders can be able to do a trade. Which simply means if you don't have a minimum amount up to that, you can't trade on that asset. So it is not in RoyalQ. So please pay attention to this. Now, go into your exchange. So let's go into our exchange. Now, just click on any of these assets, or let's assume click on futures. Okay, so let's click on futures. First, click on any of these assets. Now, if you click on any of these assets, let's assume you click on buy. This is okay. Let me see. Okay, let's go back. So let's click on futures. Now, over here, click here. Let's click on this. When you come here, look at this particular asset. Click on trading rules. Trading rules. When you click on trading rules, where is my okay? When you click on trading rules, for instance, you can see minimum notational value, that is 5 USDT. Minimum trading amount, that is 1 mem. Do you get it? And then maximum order amount, that is the highest amount you can trade. Maximum limit amount, limit order amount. So over here, when you come here, you can see this is the minimum notational value, which is 5 USDT, which simply means if you have less than 5 USDT, you can't drop your anything on this particular asset. So just like any other asset have that you are asking, that is how it operates. So let's go back. Let me see if you can see that coin called AV. So Avive. So okay. Now let's look at it. Let's look at Avive. So over here, now you click here. Click on trading rules. So over here, I guess the minimum notational value here is what is 5. Sorry, it's 0.1 AV. Where is the this thing? 0. Oh, trading data then info. Okay, no trading data. Okay, all right. So over here, when you come here, you can see minimum notational value is what is 5, and then also that is 0.1 AV here. Do you get it? And then we also have minimum price movement on all those things. So all these are some of the things you need to know before you venture into trading in your futures or trading futures. So trading, when it comes to futures, futures have a lot of rules. The rules in futures are many. You get it? The rules in futures are many, and that is what you need to understand. That is the reason why it is called contract. That is the reason why it is called contract. So let me see. Is it true that using isolated margin? Okay, so guess can I trade with 10 USDT? Okay, I guess I've answered all these questions. Using futures trade and you want to prevent liquidation. So using futures trade and you want to prevent trade, should the percentage be sold? Yeah, so if you want to close a trade, anytime you want to close a trade, the percentage should be 100%. So for instance, I have a trade here. So let's go into RoyalQ. For instance, I have a trade here. If I want to close this trade, like I told you yesterday, those who joined, I told you about ton, right? So if you want to close this particular trade, if I want to close this trade in loss, you click on close, you click on market. So over here, it seems it's not there. You click on confirm. If not, sometimes you see 100%. Just select the 100%. Just select the what? The 100%. That is all. Just select the 100% and then you are good to go. All right. So that is it. Just select the 100% and you are good to go. Okay, so let me see. Why do okay? So using futures trade on our YouTube channel that you have to watch on how to set up a trade. So setting up a trade will help you to understand more. So please pardon and then go on the YouTube channel to watch that. How do I bind my API to futures account? How do I bind my API to futures account? So if you want to bind your API to futures account, first make sure that you've done all the necessary setups you have to do in your futures trading. So if you want to do that, you just come here, you click on home, and then you click on more. Hope you are following. You come here, you click on home, then you click on, let me clean all these things so that you can get it well. Okay, then click on what? Click on more. So after clicking on more, good. Scroll down to the end, you will see API. You see what? API. So here is it. Here is API. So click on what? API. After clicking on API, let's go. After clicking on API, Very good. So after clicking on API, you just come here and then you click on what? Delete. You click on delete. So you click on this delete to ensure that you've deleted the API. Then you create it again. After creating it again, you copy the API key and then the API address. Then you go into your RoyalQ. As you're getting into your RoyalQ, you come here. So I guess you have it API binding. So on API binding, you click on Binance, then you click on replace. You click on what? Replace. Then you input all the setups there. After putting it there, you are good to go. So I guess this brief explanation will do what will help you. I guess this brief explanation will do what will help you. All right. But before you bind your API, you have to make sure that you've done the futures setup. So maybe I have to do a short video on that. I have to do a short video on that and then present it. Okay. All right. So my leader, if my capital in spot market is taken by the coins, is it possible to withdraw some of the money from any coin to my funding? And how do I do it? It is not possible. If you withdraw any part of your fund, it will give you abnormal order. It will give you abnormal order. It simply means you've disrupt your trade, and you are not going to meet the exact demand you are supposed to get in the market. So once you withdraw parts of your funds, you've disrupted your trade, and it's better you close it once and for all in losses, because it is so dangerous for you to be eating the profits or for you to be eating your capital while the trade is still in the market. Do you get it? Yes. So if I have 10 coins and $12,000 on my Binance, can I put 5 coins in spots, each having $500, and also 5 coins in futures having $500 leverage leverage, okay? It is leverage of 2x, and start moving at the same time using RoyalQ, and start moving at the same time moving RoyalQ? And the answer is yes, you can do. But my next advice to such a person, in futures, never overtrade in futures. Never overtrade. Even if in sports, never overtrade. But then on sports, you know that even if your trade tag in the market for decades, it may return. But in futures, never overtrade. Never overtrade in futures. It is always advisable to take one or two trades. If one tag in the market, you focus on one, but never overtrade in the futures market. Never, never, never and ever overtrade in the futures market. Take one trade at a time, let it sold, do another one. Take one trade at a time, let it sold. At most, even if you have huge capital, at most, just go for 2-3 coins. That is all. All right. I mean, they are all using $50 as their first buying amount, and the other multiplied it by 5 as a leverage to get 250, which you are to adjust in trade settings, whereas the person used $50 as first buying amount still adjusted that amount to $50, who makes profit. Yes, just as I've already said, the person with the higher amount will always make the higher profits. That is how the rules of leverage works. The person with the highest amount will always make the high profits. So please, um can you show how to get to trading rules? Can you show us how to get to trading rules? So please, if you want to know more about the trading rules, just come here. Let's go back. So uh, all right. So over here, just get back here and then click on what? When you click on futures, just come here and then click on what? Click on this. Click on, where is it? Oh, click on funding and then countdown. Now, after clicking on it, you can just click on rates. Now over here, you can see price. You can see this here, price, info, trading data, square. And as we keep learning in our fundamental analysis lessons, I'll be talking about all these things. So don't worry. So if you want to know the trading rules, you can see below here, we have coins info, trading rules, leverage and margin, and then also funding rate. So just come here and then click on the trading rules. If you click on trading rules, you will see all the rules applicable to that particular what asset. You see all the rules applicable to that particular asset. All right, so I guess this will help you. I guess this will help you. I guess this will help you. Please, can you show? Okay, please share the YouTube link. Yes, it will be shared. I am a new member. I've just joined RoyalQ. I'm a new member. I've just joined RoyalQ. Yes, you don't have a big deal. I think you don't have a problem. So just see your upline. Just see your upline, and he will give you all the tools you will need to grow in your journey. Okay, just see your upline, and he'll give you all the tools you need to grow in your journey. I looked like you had been bind with two exchanges with one account. Is it possible? With one account, is it possible? I look like you've bind two exchanges. Wait, so we don't call it exchanger. Okay, it's called exchange. So exchanges. It's not called exchanger. It's called exchanges. Exchanges. So it look like you've had bind two exchanges. Yes. So in RoyalQ, as usual, you know that in RoyalQ you can bind multiple your API to your multiple accounts. And of course, I have three different RoyalQ accounts. Three different RoyalQ accounts. So that one shouldn't be a big deal at all. I have three different RoyalQ accounts, and I have also three Binance accounts. So that shouldn't be a big deal. Okay, so I can I add from my spots or funding to futures account if my futures account is zero? Can I add from my spots or funding to futures account? Yes, of course you can do. Of course you can do. You can do that. Let me see if there is any hand up. Okay, so you can still proceed in the chat. So of course you can do what you can do that. Let me see. So can I add from my okay? How do I change from steady to double lap strategy in RoyalQ? How do I change from steady to double lap strategy in RoyalQ? All right. So sorry. Okay. So if you want to change any strategies in RoyalQ, first, where is it? So before you set up or you create your strategy, let's see if there is any strategy to be created. Okay, my strategy settings. So you come here, your risk type, and then also risk type. We have the radical, conservative, and then also steady. So whatever way that you want to change it, then you proceed with your either overlap or whatever strategy you want to change. Then you proceed with it. You have to come here and then check your strategy mode first, either radical, conservative, or steady before you can proceed to do either double tap or that you want to use, then you proceed to use it. Okay, so let me see if there are other questions. If there are other questions, so far there is no hand up. There is no hand up, and let me see. I'm sure I've been able to do justice to all your questions. I'm sure I've been able to do justice to all your questions. So you see, one thing is that most of these questions that we do ask, they form part of our day-to-day lessons. So for instance, some of the questions may be more of trade settings, which simply means you would also need to do yourself a favor day sessions where we do the trade settings class so that we can be able to learn how to set up the trade and then ask all the questions about trade settings. So because this particular session is question and answers on general question and answers, which simply means it will come in different angles. Do you get it? So whilst you are also learning from this angle, just do yourself a favor and then join all the sessions. If it's trade settings, if it is business presentation, if it is whatever lesson it may be, join to ask your question, which may ensure that it will build you up and then learn more to understand more about what about RoyalQ and then trading. So guys, I think we've spent about an hour and 40 minutes here. I told you we spent only 40 minutes, yet we've spent an hour and then 40 minutes here, which is good enough. So we have to prepare. Today is Friday. If there is no question, then we we have to prepare and then bring this session to an end. And it is important. So I guess in futures, how do we know our balance? Is the total amount, is it in the total at the bottom? Anytime you set up a trade, you will see your balance. Sorry. Anytime you set up a trade in a futures account, you will see your balance right after you go into your exchange. So over here, there are two ways you can see your balance. So let's go to futures. Okay, so you can see this in this particular exchange. I don't have any futures trade here. In this particular exchange, I don't have any futures trade here. Neither do I have any funds in the futures account. So where is it? So over here, if once you set up a trade, your trade will appear here. Your trade will appear here. See, I have one trade on RoyalQ, which is not in this exchange. Like I will log in to use, but unless I use the PC, which is going to be a long process. So let me just use this to explain to you. So over here, once you set up the trade, you can see when you come to position, you see the trade here. And after seeing the trade, when you come here, you will see your balance. When you come here, you do what? You will see your balance here. So take notice of that. Once you come here, you will see your balance here. It's simple as ABC. So if you want to know your trade, you just come here, you click on futures, you scroll down, come to positions, and you will see if you have 1,000 positions, that is 1,000 trades, you will see it. If you have one trade, you will see it. And then you also see your balance. That is all. Hope that will help you. Okay, so please try to drop the video on how to set up the futures trading and API. Yes, I'll do that. So don't worry, I'll do that. Okay, so I think that is all. If there is no other question, you've spent enough time here. How can I change the exchange background from dark to light? So if you want to change the exchange background from dark to light, let's see. You come to home, then on home, you click on come here, click on this three dots here first. So let's do that. Okay, so okay, so when you click, let me go back. So when you click here, you are going to see color preferences. All the things that you want to change, you can see them here. Color preferences, you can see them here. So if you want to change any of the colors, then you change them. Then even your currencies and all the things that you want to make the changes. So I guess this is how you can do it. And then change charts and then time zones. If you want to change your time zone and then everything on your futures here, you can come here and then make the changes. Hope that is clear. All right. So in the futures. Okay, thank you, coach. I really learned a lot today. So that is good. Then why is it not safe to pick more future trades at a time, even if you have enough capital to cover the trades? Even if you have enough capital to cover the trades. Now, when it comes to futures trading, the secret is that liquidation is real. And because of liquidation, it's always assumed you may have capital to cover up more trades, but you may not have capital to cover up liquidation. Do you get? You may have capital to cover up more trades, to set up more trades, but you may not have capital to cover up liquidation. Why do people get liquidated? People get liquidated because they don't have enough funds to continue the trade. That is the reason why we keep saying that instead of you thinking of opening more trades, think on how you can secure one trade to make profits. I think it's logic. Do you get it? So if I want to trade multiple assets, let's assume I have $1,000. I want to trade on different assets. Meanwhile, one asset alone can give me good profits if I'm able to take good care of it by investing good capital into it. Which simply means if I open more trades and it happens that liquidation happens, I get nothing. Do you get it? But at the end of the day, if I have less trade, I'll be able to use my funds to control it in order for me to gain more profits and then come out of the market. Please, hope that is clear. Hope that is clear. So the reason why we don't normally traders or expect does not allow or does not advise. This is just an advice. Then it's your personal decision to either open more trades or not. But then from expert advice, it's good for you to do what? For you to trade less than trade more. That over trading is too expensive and too risky in what's in trading. Over trading is expensive and too risky in what's in trading. So you have to take notice of how do you get the settings? How do you get the settings? So the settings, I think we we all come here, we got here. So let's go back and see, click on your futures. After clicking on futures, yes, BTC, something bad is happening to BTC. It is really dipping. And I feel excited because despite the fact that BTC is dipping, Ethereum is still having grounding. It's still building groundings. Ethereum is still building groundings, which is awesome, and which may push a little bit to maybe the alt season, which may push the momentum to alt season because Ethereum is still losing, BTC is still losing momentum. So let me help you with that. I came here, so you have to first come here, click on the top corner here, your left top corner here, here. After clicking there, click on it, come here. Where is it? Come here, click on settings. Come here and click on what? On settings. So after clicking on settings, let's click on settings first. So when you click on settings, you are going to see notification preference. Even with the notification preference, how you want receiving message. Do you want message to be popping up on your screen or not? So when you come here, you will see it. So assuming you want message to be, you do your setup very nicely. Notification preference. So let's go back. Then when you come here, currency, the currency you want to use USDT or you want to use your local currency. If you want to use your local currency like maybe Ghana cedis or whatever that you want to do, you come here, you change the settings. Then you scroll down. So what you were asking of is the color. The person asked of the color. I don't know, either you are the one. So over here, when you come here, we have the color preference. Color what? Preference. So you click on the color preference, then you change it. And any other things, payments method, payment currency. My payment currency is what? Is Ghana cedis. For your time, Roima. All right. Okay. So thank you all, guys. So I think that is all. And I think we are doing amazing. And RoyalQ is doing good. And let's all focus on RoyalQ. There is no better thing outside there. If there is good opportunity, some of us would be so genuine with you. It's not because of our selfish interest or not because of any other thing. It's because we all want to see ourselves smiling and having peace of mind. In life, peace of mind is more important. You building your credibility and then your integrity is more important than just focusing on money and then losing your credibility and then your self-respect in a society. It's very, very bad. Do you get it? That is the reason why we keep telling each and every one of you that let's focus on RoyalQ. We are tired of Ponzi schemes, so why should we then push our energy, channel our energy into another Ponzi scheme? It is very bad. And I think we are human beings, and if we really deserve respect, we need to respect ourselves. Do you get it? So please, let's all focus on RoyalQ. We all know there is nothing wrong with RoyalQ. We are all here to trade, and if you are trading to make money and then our team members are doing good, we will also make good profits. There is nothing to be worried about. Let the sleeping dog lie. As for us, we will continue and then proceed to do the good work that we are doing because nothing is going to stop us. If they think something is wrong, they should proceed to do what is good for them. And for us, we will continue to be here till time memorial. And definitely, time will surely tell who made the right decision, because RoyalQ is here. The angel is better than the devil, is better than the angel you don't know. So please, let's all be careful of what is happening, and let's all focus on our teams, and then also build our teams. If you need any assistance, all the leaders are there. If you think maybe your upline or your leader has abandoned you in joining one of these Ponzi schemes out of greediness, and you want to sign up mentorship, you can also see any of the leaders that is your preferred leader that you think may be of good help to you, to guide you. Maybe you make that person your mentor so that the person can be guiding you all the time. Yes, it happens. It's life. Sometimes the person you trusted most will be the one to betray you. Maybe you trusted your upline, and now he's betraying you by joining Ponzi scheme, because now he's thinking about himself and he's no longer thinking about you. And this is what I said from the onset, that most of the people brought people into this RoyalQ business not because of trading, because of the $30 bonus they will get. And it has happened. It has happened. Do you get it? Because of the bonuses they will get. That is the reason why most people rootedly brought people here. Selfishness and then greediness. And it has happened. That is the reason why immediately RoyalQ changed the plan, that now everyone should be steady and then also build good leadership. Now they said they don't want it. They want to go. Because over there too, they'll get people who are so weak in mind to steal their peace of mind, to just take away money from them. That is a fact. My dear ladies and gentlemen, I think we are fighting a battle, an unforeseen battle, because most of you don't understand how it feels that someone will bring you in a business and the person will abandon you, and so he want to deceive you, lure you into a different project. You see, in our local language, there is a way we say it, like nipa no ɔyɛ sɛ n'ani ate. Do you get it? Nipa no behave sɛ n'ani ate. Ɛyɛ nkwasiasɛm. So we should all be very careful. We should all be very careful. They just want to play smart on they are trying to act very intelligent on us, playing on our intelligence, which is very bad. It's not supposed to happen so. So we should all be very careful, right? And then build our business with integrity. And at the end, we will all be rewarded based on our focus, based on our actions, based on what we did. And I think that is what it's supposed to be. If I have to do good and I choose bad, karma will reward me. If I have to do good and I choose bad, karma will do what? Will reward me. So let's all be very careful of what is happening, and let's focus on our business, because time will surely tell who deserves to be crowned as a king. Time will surely do what? Tell who deserves to be crowned as a king. All right, so this is where I will end today's session. If God permits, we'll still meet in another session. I thank you for your time. Thank you for being here with us, and thank you for following us in this session. I wish you all the best in your trading journey. Okay, so please, my account will expire next month, and I don't want to renew it under my upline again. Please, I need a better upline that can carry me along my 4K. It's at stake here. All right, so that is fine. You can search an upline to help you. Any of the leaders are there if you want an upline. That one should be your personal decision. That shouldn't come from me. So just get an upline that you think is trusted and you can help you to build your business, then proceed with your journey. That is all that I can tell you. So please, the YouTube link will be shared. So please, if you are not on the Revolution group link, okay, so let me quickly do that. So if you are not on the Revolution link or platform, join it now. So let me see. Okay. Okay. All right. Let me share it here quickly. Let me share it here. So here's a group link. How do I see the link itself?
Brother Ima, I've already shared it.
Okay. All right. Then let's proceed. Okay. All right. So guys, you can join the group. This is just a group where we all discuss and then also have fun, learn, and then also grow together. So guys, I think that is all. Yeah, so that is it. So when that $30 can be made in a day, and this life, life no balance. So It's like that. It's not balanced at all. But it's well. So I think that is all. I think that is all. So guys, let's end here. If God permits, we will still meet again. So please don't jump into anyone's DM. If you want an upline, just seek an upline that will be there for you all the time. On the platform, just go there. I can't tell you what to do, but always make the right decision for yourself. Okay, so this is where we will end, guys. Let's end here. If God permits, we'll still meet in another session. Go and trade and make money. Let people know about RoyalQ. Let them know RoyalQ exists and it is working, so that they can also join and benefit from whatever knowledge you are benefiting from. All right, so let's end here. If God permits, we'll meet another session. Have a good day. See you all. Bye bye bye. Okay, so